7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 1, step outside the person you have been. Because if you don't get away from the person you've been, you'll be 25, you'll be 30, you'll be 40. Hey, man, I've seen it. I know dudes my age and they still busting a sag. I know dudes in their 50s still busting a sag. One thing is guaranteed in life. Let me tell you, one thing is guaranteed in life. Your body is going to age. I don't care if you put yourself inside a room and block yourself away from the world. You put up a bunch of walls. As long as you eat, drink, you'll live. But your brain is not necessarily going to mature with your body if you're not exposing it to new things. If you're not exposing your brain to new things, that means your brain isn't growing. But your body is going to grow. That's why you got grown men who are in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 80s, who are no different than they were when they were 25. You're not guaranteed to mature and be a grown man. But you just be a little boy with a beard, gray beard. That's all. You're just going to be a little boy with a gray beard running around with your pants sagging, trying to compete with young boys. Because you're afraid to grow. You got that Peter Pan syndrome. You want to be a little boy forever. And then when somebody show you any kind of love or any type of appreciation or anybody does anything for you, you revert back to being an infant. And now you think you deserving of it or they supposed to keep doing it for you. No, they not. When somebody is helping you, they giving you a hand up, not a hand out. Naturally, when we say get back on track, we don't mean go backwards and don't change because that's not helpful. When people say get back on track, they don't mean to go back in life. And they don't mean don't go forward. That's not what that means when they say get back on track. All right, so here we go. In fact, being the person you were is what led you to being stuck where you are now. So trying something a little different may be just the thing you need. You need change in your life. You need as much change as you can stand. You need as much change as you can stand. So trying something a little different may be just the thing you need. Weird and scary as it sounds, you've probably already done it before. Think of your younger self and all you learned from your mistakes. Think about that. All of us have learned some things from our mistakes. Like the time you learned where babies come from. Remember that? Did you think babies came from somewhere other than where they really come from? I know I did. But I'm not going to be 50 years old still thinking babies come out of somebody's belly button. You have to mature. If you learn the difference between where a baby come out of, then you need to start learning some things as far as how life works. And taste doesn't always match. Just because something smells a certain way don't mean it's going to taste a certain way. You ever tasted vanilla extract? Yeah. Smell like vanilla. Don't taste like it. I remember being a young kid going in my grandmama's medicine cabinet and getting them chocolates out of there. It looked like a chocolate bar. But what it was a laxative. And it didn't taste like chocolate once you put it in your mouth. But you made yourself eat it because it looked like chocolate. But you learned something after you kept going to the bathroom. You learned something. And if you learned that, what about the time when there was a hot stove and you was a little kid crawling around and you touched that hot stove? And I guarantee you this, that little kid, once he go past that hot stove again, he ain't going to touch it this time. Just like going to church was good for me when I was a kid, but I hated to go. But it was good for me, bro. So when I fell on my last leg, I had something to refer to. I had a higher power to go to. But when we get to a certain age, we get to say to ourselves, I don't want to go to church no more. Because if you out on the street and you learning how to sell dope, that ain't good for you. You can learn it, but how many years is it going to take you to realize you're just going to go to the penitentiary? The question you can ask yourself is, while looking at yourself from the outside, what do I want out of this? Or a better question is, what do I want out of me? Don't nobody owe you nothing. This may require you to come out of your comfort zone, but it will be worth it. 7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 2, be kind to yourself, which means certain situations you don't put yourself in. Certain people you don't affiliate with and associate yourself with. Humility is a good thing, but don't go overboard. It's good to have humility, to be humble. but never be too humble. Not too humble. Humility is a good thing, but don't go overboard. Having your innermost monologue become a constant rose fest isn't helpful to you. All that self-blame and shame is acting as a wall. Dealing with a mistake will stop at the inner scolding of, I suck. As soon as you say something negative to yourself, I suck. I hate this. I hate me. My life is this. You keep talking to yourself like that. That's your inner dialogue. You're the only person bringing you down. And you can't sit there with this inner dialogue bringing yourself down and then you wind up looking at everybody else. Now y'all fix me. That's your job to fix you. Guess what? That's going to be your job for the rest of your life. Humility is a good thing, but don't go overboard. Having your innermost monologue become a constant rose fest isn't helpful to you. All that self-blame and shame is acting as a wall. Dealing with a mistake will stop at the inner scolding of, I suck, and doesn't allow for those next steps of recognition and trusting yourself to learn from it and do better. Because when you allow your inner dialogue to be toxic, you don't learn from anything. If I did something that I need to change from, or if I did something that I don't like, or I did something that don't sit well with me, I can sit there and say, man, that was a bad decision, or that was a bad mistake. I ain't going to make that decision again. I'm not going to make that mistake anymore. That's education. I've learned something. That helps me be a better person. When you make a mistake and you learn from the mistake and you fix it, then you're growing. But when someone is constantly telling you something over and over, you're not learning. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting something different to happen. Self-compassion contributes to a wide range of positive outcomes for our well-being, like interconnectedness with others, optimism, and wisdom, to name a few. Why? It's because you can only access and learn these things when you believe you are worthy of them. And if you don't believe you are worthy, then you're not going to get it. And number 3, let go of regrets. The past is really the past. And it doesn't serve any purpose but a lesson. Because while you sitting here thinking about what you didn't do or what you didn't say, you're being distracted from right now. The past is affecting your right now. And if it's affecting your right now, it's automatically going to affect your future, because your future depends on the seeds that you plant right now. We cannot change the past, but we have the choice of how to respond. You can keep up with the rumination. Rumination is thinking of a negative thought over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. No value in that. That's just going to bring you down further and further. You can keep up with the rumination of what if. Because usually when we think about the past, it's the what if of the past. So while you focus on what you didn't do, you lose in your right now. And make your present full of anxiety and bitterness, or you can acknowledge it, understand its cause, and your role in it. Turn whatever incident into a learning tool rather than a lifelong punishment. Instead of letting the past ruin your now or your future, make it a part of your life lessons. 7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 4, trust that you are in the right place at the right time. That's what social media is a problem, because we look at social media and we see somebody in Cancun taking pictures. Now we wish we were in Cancun, or we like, man, damn, they out in Cancun. I'm not doing something right. I'm not in Cancun. Now you got the focus off of your own life. Or jealousy. Y'all know the difference between envy and jealousy? If I'm jealous, that means I think you want something I got. If I'm envious, that means I'm looking at something you got that I want. With the dominating rise of social media, it is nearly difficult to avoid social comparison. People's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook posts distract us every time we look at a screen, and we wonder why we're not doing what they're doing, or why our lives aren't better. If you're trying to get your life back on track, trying to hitch on to someone else's life means working with incomplete tools that aren't yours. It's okay to try new things, but the ultimate masterpiece is your own life. And since it's yours, trust that you're at the right moment for you. You're in the right place at the right time for you right now. The seeds that you planting are the seeds that are going to bloom in the future. So if what you're planting is bull crap, guess what? Your harvest is going to be bull crap. 7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 5, realize no one owns you. The good things you do are because of you. The bad things you do are because of you. No one owns you. Similar to the previous point, you have to live your own life. Yes, it's great to be aware of social norms and supportive friends, but if you find yourself taking the extra mile to avoid being negatively judged by others, like a puppet where your own needs are negligible and other people are dictating your every move, this is beyond social courtesy. You're giving up your life to someone else as well. As well-meaning as others might be, only you have the entirety of your story. Only you can do what's right for you. Nobody knows your situation better than you. Nobody knows what you need in this life better than you. Nobody's been with you forever. You've been with you since day one. See, we sit here and we tell people what we want them to know about us. See, but you know all the grimy details. So you know better than me. 7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 6, never underestimate your strength to move on. Never underestimate your strength to move on. Think about some times where you fail. Has there ever been a time in your life where you're like, man, I'm not going to survive this? I know I've had them. Situation where I had to call out to God, like, God, I can't make this one. This is it. This is it, God. This is it. This is the one. I'm coming to Jordan. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I done had a few of those. And guess what? Every time I had it, I was wrong. I made it. What I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And sometimes what I thought was going to happen did happen. And it wasn't the end of the world. I survived anyway. Never underestimate your strength to move forward. Have you ever doubted your strength to take another step forward? It's all just too much. When this happens, you can always look back at your life when similar issues have come up. Despite the hardship, you survived then. So you can do so now. Eventually, the difficulty will pass, and you will look back at this time and feel grateful and stronger for getting through it. Walk through life with your head up, your shoulders straight, and your chest out. Because if you're doing the right thing, you don't have to worry about anybody. The people who worry a lot are the people who put forward an image. See, if you put forward a false image of who you are, you're going to worry every single damn day that they done figured me out. But when you step correct, you ain't worried about when people bring you drama, because I know it ain't got my name written on it. Let's go. Bring it here. Bring it. Bring this issue to me. I'm going to do reconstructive surgery on it because my name ain't written on none of that. So you can do so now. Eventually, the difficulty will pass, and you will look back at this time and feel grateful and stronger for getting through it. Anybody ever been through something you thought was going to destroy you, and when you got through it, at the end of that tunnel, you were like, dang, that made me a better man. 7 ways to get your life back on track. Number 7, give up overthinking and worrying. Overthinking is when healthy understanding and knowledge overwhelms everything, even the bigger picture and logic. In order to get back on track, it's important to make decisions and work towards a goal. But there are also the 2 things you stop doing when you overthink. Overthinking creates a vicious cycle of worry that steals your peace. It's the hamster wheel of, I hate my life. So stop the ride. If you sit around talking about, I hate my life, you got issues. Why you hate your life? Because I ain't got money like Jay-Z. You can breathe the same air as Jay-Z. You can walk outside like Jay-Z. You ain't in no wheelchair. You can go to work. You can lift your arm up. Don't you know some people can't lift their hands up? Don't you know some people can't use their hands? Don't you know some people they're in the bed, they can't go to the bathroom until somebody take them out of the bed and take them to the bathroom? Oh my God, y'all better come on, man. Y'all looking at me like y'all crazy. In order to get back on track, it's important to make decisions and work towards a goal. But there are also 2 things you stop doing when you overthink. And these are the 2 things you stop doing. You stop making decisions and you stop working towards a goal when you overthink. You get off the hamster wheel by doing things you enjoy and trying new things. You get off the hamster wheel by doing things you enjoy and trying new things. You can ask yourself, what is my worrying doing to help the situation? Worry does nothing to help no situation. Nothing. Well, it's going to help me build a better plan. No, it does not. Because if you building a plan, you ain't worrying. I got to go to court in 3 months. The judge say, if you don't have no driver's license, I'm giving you 3 months in jail. You got 3. Now somebody gonna sit for 3 months worrying. Whereas another person gonna be standing in front of the judge like 3 months to get my license. I'm gonna have that in 30 days or less. They ain't worried about coming back to court in 3 months. Because they have a plan. I'm gonna go get my permit. Then I'm gonna take my permit test. Then I'm gonna schedule to go take my driver's test. That don't take a long time at all. I might have that in less than 2 weeks. They're not worried. The person who is worried is the person who doesn't have a plan, and the person who isn't taking action, and they're just watching the calendar tick. And y'all think that, like, who does that? Lots of people. Instead of fixing their situation, they rather wait and watch the clock run out. And then react. Get in front of the judge. All right, Mr. Harris, you got your license? I got 1,001 excuses. Give up overthinking and worrying. Overthinking is when healthy understanding and knowledge overwhelms everything, even the bigger picture and logic. In order to get back on track, it's important to make decisions and work towards a goal. But they're also the 2 things you stop doing when you overthink. Overthinking creates a vicious cycle of worry that steals your peace. It's the hamster wheel of I hate my life, so stop the ride. You get off the hamster wheel by doing things you enjoy and trying new things. You can ask yourself, what is my worrying doing to help the situation? Try setting aside a small amount of time every other day to explore new distractions, things that are positive, or experiment with existing ones. Getting back to you is a process just like any other major project. You'll feel like you're making progress sometimes and going backwards sometimes. So you got to understand, no matter what, if you're trying to better your life, you're going to have some successes. And guess what? There's going to be some setbacks going to come with that. Don't let those mistakes, don't let that set you back and say, F it, I'm done. I'm not trying no more. You got an education. That's how you get better, by making mistakes.